like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have your self to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yeah, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
Diddy's team fell for it. Hook, line, sinker. Press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comments, and we will get right into this video. If you guys can hear me down there in the chat, press 1. Let me get a mic check real quick. And I'm going to let y'all know exactly what's going on. I'm getting right to the point. Because Diddy's legal team, you guys can hear me? All right, salute everybody. Diddy's legal team did exactly what they wanted to do. Diddy's legal team, for you guys who don't know what's going on, his legal team set the biggest trap that Diddy's team, the government set the biggest trap that Diddy's legal team should have seen coming. But they did exactly what the government knew they would do, which is try to expose, shame victims and people who are going up there to testify. First things first, damn near everybody's up there did not volunteer to go testify. Almost everybody up there did not volunteer to go testify. These things are very important that everybody needs to understand that I'm telling y'all, because in their closing arguments, when everything is revealed, you will see and they will say exactly what I'm telling you. Don't ask me how I know. You wait for it and watch if that don't happen exactly what I said gonna happen. They all fell for it. The government knew that Diddy's legal team is going to try to make them all look like liars, right? And Ron Brown says Trump is going to pardon Diddy. Wait for it, buddy. You might pass gas 1,000 times before that happens. Ain't going to happen, buddy. Anyways, Diddy's legal team fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker, man. They did exactly what the government knew they were going to do. And here's the problem right here. Here's the problem. The problem is that it's going to backfire against Sean Diddy Combs. And here's the reason why. The reason why the government had multiple witnesses that are going to testify in this case, and the reason why they've laid out the witnesses the way they have, is because I told you guys in the other video I did today, the government is like they're playing poker or they're playing blackjack. They always cover their bets. What am I saying here? You have to look at a few things that are in the realm of this situation. First of all, let's start with Cassie Ventura. Everybody's out here bashing Cassie, bashing Cassie, bashing Cassie. Cassie did not want this to be a criminal case. Let me repeat myself again. Regardless of what you think, Cassie Ventura did not want this to be a criminal case. The person who allegedly did Diddy in was Lil Rod. you can thank Myron from Fashion Fit for letting that one go. Cassie Ventura only wanted that money from Diddy. She was going to let him go on with his life. Remember, Cassie warned Diddy, hey, if you don't pay me for my pain and suffering with your ass, which Diddy should have paid her all them beatings he put on her ass, she says, I'm going to drop this lawsuit. Diddy didn't think she was. Why didn't Diddy think she was? Because Diddy, in my opinion, thought that she was still somehow connected to him. That he still somehow, yeah, she ain't going to do it. She know what it is. She ain't never going to do that to me. Love. 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 You see that L Diddy's throwing up in the sky? It's not about love. It's about a loss he gonna take in his court case. He's throwing up that L because his ass is getting ready to lose big time. See, what Cassie didn't want was to go to court and have to reveal all those things she did. You might think she did, but I got on great word that she didn't. She didn't want to speak any of that stuff out in the public that she spoke in court. She didn't even talk about that in her lawsuit. The problem was, and this is all truth I'm saying to y'all, factual information I'm saying to you. Statute of limitation was running out, the date that Cassie could file that lawsuit. And on the last day, when Diddy would not pay her, Cassie filed that lawsuit. And when Diddy saw the ramifications and the backlash he got from her filing that lawsuit, he instantly settled with that woman. But it was too late. The information had been out. The information had been out. Ma'am, you say if Trump pardons Diddy, I will have to look at Trump different. Now, I'm going to say this to you right here. You're not going to like me because of this. But Ticket TV lays down for nobody. If you didn't look at Trump differently, after he said, I like to grab him by the P-U-S-S-Y, I don't know what else you talking about, ma'am. Case closed. But you ain't going to catch my drift on that. You're going to get mad because I dare tell the truth about what your little king said. That didn't make you mad. But it'll make you mad if he freed Diddy, right? Oh, yeah. See? Oh, y'all see? That's the one thing about me. I'm surgical with this thing, girl. I'm surgical with this thing. I don't care about none of that. I care about the truth and the facts. See? But you didn't care when he said that. That was just locker room talk, horseplay. That wasn't serious, was it? Now let's get back to this. Sean Diddy Combs. Cassie did not want to go to court and tell all of those things. Everybody's complaining that, oh man, they got Diddy by himself. That's because Diddy was the only damn fool out of all of them that didn't either take a plea deal or outright immunity. See, Cassie was offered immunity for a testimony because if she didn't, they were going to put her in the case too, prosecute her ass as a co-conspirator under that RICO, even though she was a victim in a way. She still was a co-conspirator because she helped set up these events. Even though it wasn't her money, she participated in helping covering up this stuff and all of these other things Cassie told y'all about with her own testimony. But Cassie was smart. Cassie went and took immunity. Diddy was unintelligent because Diddy was doing all of these things allegedly around people who weren't really built for that life. You're doing this around all these everyday average working people who, when the shit fly, they're not living off street rules, buddy. They not. So Cassie goes and testifies. The feds knew that all these people were going to jump on Cassie. They knew that. Oh, Cassie ain't this, Cassie ain't that. The feds are smarter than you, buddy. They knew y'all were going to do that. That's why they covered their bets. What did the feds do? They said, you know what? This white girl that was cool with Cassie for years before. She was cool with Cassie for years before she knew Diddy. Childhood friends almost. We're going to bring her in. She hates Cassie now because Cassie didn't take her side when Diddy gave her ass a concussion and beat that ass. What are we going to get her to do? She's going to come in here, even though she doesn't like Cassie, she's going to verify Cassie's story. Then what are we going to do? We're going to get somebody to come in here behind her and verify Cassie and the white girl story. And then what are we going to do? We're going to get somebody else to come behind them and verify all three of their stories. By the end of this case, when they go to final arguments, Diddy's lawyers are going to say, now Diddy's lawyers have said, the government's going to say, Diddy's lawyers have set up here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and told y'all that all these people are lies. All these everyday common working people are liars. He's the only one that's telling the truth. Not going to work. The government is smarter than Sean Diddy Combs, and I can tell. They're going to use strength and numbers, and not only strength and numbers. Listen to my words very closely. Strength and rank. What have the government done this entire time that all of these bozos that run around here swearing they know what's going on missed? The government has set you up for an unbelievable endgame. The government, every time somebody comes in, what have they done? Each of these people have repeated certain people's names who are players higher up on the list than them. So the government went to the low hanging fruit, the low players first in this entire RICO situation, right? They got them to testify, but they also got them to say who the people over them were. Security, staff, things like that. Go back and watch the names. They've set that up because as Diddy's lawyers have come out and basically tried to paint all these people as liars, it's going to be hard to do when the big dogs walk through that door and verify and solidify everything that Mia, Cassie, Cuddy, and the rest of them have said. I ain't talking about no celebrity. This ain't got nothing to do with no celebrity right now. I'm talking about people that were in Diddy's inner network to the highest ranks. Right? And to the person who says, Ticket, you got that wrong. Trump didn't say he liked to grab him by the book. That's exactly what he said. In fact, since you know me, I can do two things at once. And my gangsterism won't allow you to come in here and lie. You understand? My internet gangsterism, because I ain't no real gangster. My internet gangsterism won't allow me to come in here and lie. You said Trump didn't say that He likes to grab him by the you know what. That's what you said, right? That's what you said. Right?
And everything. She's totally changed her look. She's your girl's hottest. Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes, the Donald is good. Quite frankly, Billy, I don't appreciate this locker room talk, and I also don't appreciate the sexist way you talk about women. I'll be leaving your bus now. Goodbye.
Now, that's what he said right there. But what else did he say? What else did he say? You said he didn't say it, right?
Moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married. No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was... And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where there's some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I got to use some Tic Tacs just in case they start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
What you say, boy?
Automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything. Pull that. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
Don't play with me, boy. Don't play with me, boy. Don't play with me, boy. And somebody said, I heard the original tape that's edited. Well, I got backup for that too. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Because Trump was questioned about this. He was questioned about this in a deposition, about that statement. And this is what he had to say.
Assalamu alaikum.
He didn't say that, but hold on. They keep putting that commercial up there. Hold on. I'm going to show you what he said, because I got it right here. Exactly what he said.
They can grab women by the...
Well, that's...
Now, listen to this.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the...
Well, that's what... It's, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star? It's true with stars that they can grab women by the...
Well, that's what... It's, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true.
Now, you want to play this little game with me, buddy? In the deposition, she asked him about it. And you heard what he said. Now get your ass out of my channel, sucker. We don't have no picks and choosers around here. You understand what I'm saying? And Pam, you said, oh, well, he's still my... Well, get your nasty ass out of here, too. Because like I said before, you guys pick and choose. Y'all come in here and you want to talk down and you hate on Diddy, right? But then you, when you hear somebody else talking this nasty talk, you don't got no smoke for that. Get your ass out of here. Go sit down somewhere. This ain't about, this is about honesty and truth. And if you ain't got that same smoke for everybody that comes across the line, sit down and shut the hell up. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. If you don't have the same smoke about how you feel about people who allegedly disrespect and or violate women, get your ass out of here. Nobody want to hear from you. Period. Don't nobody want to make no excuses. Don't nobody want to move the goalposts. Don't nobody want to do none of that. Point blank, period. You got to keep the same energy. You can't, oh, well, I hate how Diddy talks to these women, calling them bitches and hoes and all this other stuff. But then you got to pass for somebody else. Not going to happen. You hate Diddy for what he says and does. You hate what they say, R. Kelly and all these people. You hate all these other people, what they say and do or say. Do you pick and choose based off of who you like? See, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about me. I don't praise man. I only praise God. See, let me tell you something. When you start praising man, that's when you got real problems. When you start praising man, that's when you have real problems. Now on the Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, they fell for it. The government is gonna line out those people. He's done. All they have done is brought all these people out here, giving these people immunity. Think about this. They're giving all these people either immunity or plea deals. Why? Because they want big fish. They want the big fish. All these people that y'all are seeing outside of Cassie are cogs in the system. None of them were big dogs. The big dogs haven't even come into court yet. It's going to be a shame that Diddy's lawyers have had these people running around here on YouTube say, oh yeah, they got cooked, they got exposed. Not going to be exposed when they bring Diddy's biggest under workers, his biggest staffers in there to say, under the penalty of perjury in a court of law, to say, hey man, they were telling the truth. Yeah, Mia, she told the truth, man. Yeah, Cassie, she was telling the truth. Regardless of whether you like it or not, yeah, she told the truth. I watched it. I participated. The feds have set this thing up. And to the person who says, nah, actions are worse, I'm sorry, bro. Words are just as bad. And I'm going to tell you why, sir. And I'm going to ether you real quick. Your name is TJ. You're going to get cooked. And I'm going to straight annihilate you right now. Easy work. A caveman can do this, brother. Don't you know that more people get unalived over words than actions? Case closed, nigga. Get your ass out of here. Blocked. See how easy I ethered you? Don't you know that more people on this earth get unalived, get their life taken from them based off words more than action? See, you didn't even know, sucker. What you say about my mama? Boom. I'm a what? Boom. You disrespect my hood? Boom. You said something on track? Boom. Life and death are within the power of the tongue, brother. The tongue is a powerful thing. The most powerful thing. The most powerful thing. It's people out here, if you say something about their mama, they're going to take you out. If you say something about their daddy, they're going to take you out. If you say something about their great granny, they're going to take you out. Your mind is small, brother. Let's keep going. All the feds have done is it's gotten all these people who were small cogs in the system outside of Cassie. Everybody else was pretty much, just workers and staffers and stuff like that. They weren't up as high ranking. But what they've all done is they've named the high ranking players. You've heard them in court. I ain't got to say their names again right now. The feds have played this thing perfectly. They don't care what Diddy's lawyers say to the jury because they know what their end game is going to be. Their end game is going to be bringing those big dogs in there to testify against Diddy and corroborate all the things these little people that's come in here now and said. See, that is what's going to be the grand slam. And then entering the rest of the evidence, the paperwork, the money trail, all that to close the case. That's what y'all forgot. Think about what the feds have done. Forget about all those people, because the feds are going to tell y'all, those people had no reason to come in there and lie. They didn't volunteer to go up there. Damn near everybody told you, I didn't want to come up here. I was going to plead the fifth. I wasn't coming up here. These fools forced me to come up here and testify under the penalty of perjury. So I had to tell the truth. It's different from people volunteering to snitch on Diddy. That's not what happened. The feds told them people, you come up here, you plead the fifth, we're charging you with him. In some cases, we give immunity. In some cases, we give plea deals. Everybody said, well, why they ain't being charged with Diddy? Nigga, that's not how it ever works, nigga. You know the system. Look at other cases going on right now. You still got people on trial waiting for their court dates in the aftermath. So after Diddy's fate is done, they will pull up these other people who they've held back, co-conspirators who didn't want to cooperate, and they're going to put their ass there in that courtroom and nail their ass to the wall. They just ain't sitting up there with Diddy because the government's pushing them and giving them a chance to say, hey, look, we dangling this out here in front of y'all right here. We got all these people that's in here saying y'all names in court too. So on top of the evidence we have people that have come on here and sworn under the penalty of perjury that you are part of this conspiracy, and more than one. And there's strength in numbers. Because see, you can call one person a liar. You can call two people a liar. You can call three people a liar. But how are you going to call 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He a liar. She a liar. He a liar. She a liar. She a liar. He a liar. He a liar. He a liar. Nope, not going to work. And all Diddy's team is doing is what the feds are going to say in the end is make excuses, because that's all Diddy did from the beginning. They lied. They told y'all, oh, we own the domestic violence. You're a liar. He didn't own it. He said that everything Cassie said was a lie until that videotape came out and he put that fake-ass apology out. And then he took the apology down. And the feds, you damn well believe they're going to ask, why did he take that apology down if he means that he takes responsibility for the violence? Because in the video, he says, I have no excuses for my actions. But then as soon as they went to court, he says, hey, man, this video was chopped up. This ain't the right video, man. All he did was make excuses. They're going to nail his ass to the wall. All the feds have done is brought in all these people to talk about how they participated. They've built up a whole group of people to show y'all RICO. And everybody's sitting here saying, oh, man, these people were complicit. Duh! That's why they're showing you it was a RICO. They're bringing in all these people to tell you how they helped cover up crimes, how they went and got drugs for this man illegally as a part of his actions and his network under his companies, how they went and transported and brought it to him. They told you of a guy named One Stop. I wonder who he is. I think I know. Is he going to come out of door 8? What about the security staff? They got a decision to make. That security staff got to be pushing around 50 years old now. 55 years old. Can they do 16, 15, 17 years under a RICO and leave their families, leave their kids, leave all those people? Can they do that? Or are they stone cold hard gangsters that's committed and dedicated to the game and willing to do that time? I doubt it. I doubt it. You guys are going to see what the play is. The feds have played Diddy's team the entire time. That's why they haven't panicked at all. Because all they've done is used all of these witnesses to name the big dogs in the conspiracy. And y'all have not even heard from the big dogs yet. And when they get the big dogs on the stand and the big dogs tell it all, remember, that Kid Cudi fire thing is still lingering out there. But what happens if the feds get a guy to come in and say, I'm the one who did that for immunity, They say, look, you committed this crime, but we're going to give you immunity. You just have to tell us everything that happened. What if the feds have the other security staff that come in and say, man, all these things these people were saying is true. We were doing this, this, and this, and I can prove how we were doing it. What if the feds have the number one underdog to Diddy, his main person who was always attached to them that they talked about in this case? What if she finally breaks and comes in and gives up everything? The final act. It will only prove to all those jurors that Diddy's legal team and trying to discredit all those other people was futile because they had a person who corroborated all of the other charges. Right? They had a person who corroborated. They had people who corroborated everything else. Right? You guys, you're going to see, man. You're going to see. And I promise you, what they have coming out is going to blow your mind. So, have your fun. But I want you to think. They have a Jane Doe coming from overseas that nobody has heard about. They also have a man who came into court today who didn't testify, but he walked into court with his lawyer today. And he was going to plead the fifth like many of these other people because they didn't want to testify and say something that would perjure themselves in a court of law. So he was going to take the Fifth Amendment. But the judge says, I'm going to sign this immunity deal for you guys. The government gave him immunity. The judge signed it right there. He's coming up tomorrow. He's coming up tomorrow. See, for everybody who says, and this brother says, Brian Steele cooked that witness. He didn't cook shit. You know why Brian Steele didn't cook shit? Brian Steele was up there crying about, oh, my client, if he wants to file an appeal. What do you mean file an appeal? You're the great Brian Steele. Y'all supposed to win this case, right? Appeal shouldn't come out your mouth unless you know you're going to lose. Which they know. Diddy's team know because they saw the pretrial paperwork and all the evidence. Why did Brian Steele sit up there today in court talking about, oh, if my client, he files for an appeal, what do you mean appeal? I thought y'all were going to win. I thought y'all were going to win. What do you mean appeal? And these guys hype up Brian Steele like he's some type of great lawyer. He ain't done nothing. He got the worst plea deal in the history of America. His client pled guilty, not innocent. They gave the man a 15-year probation. That's a horrible probation. If this man mess up one time, he's out of here. And then all of y'all gonna be saying, Brian Steele's the worst lawyer ever, man. Why did he take that deal? Crazy work. And remember, Brian Steele said he advised against that. So he can't even take credit for that. You cooked, nigga. Oh, my ear to the streets. Brian Steele said he advised against that deal. He didn't want that. Brian Steele, in this case, moved for a mistrial and got that shit blocked in his face. You want to play that game with me? or you want me to cook you with facts? All Brian Steele and them are doing is showing everything the feds are saying about Diddy. Diddy and his alleged ego, his alleged control, and all these other things. You guys are going to see. In the end, you guys are going to see. Because if you think that the feds are going to just leave it at this, you think they just came in for this, all those people's names they brought up, watch for those people. I'm not talking about no celebrities. I'm talking about all the people's names they brought up that was on that inner circle. Ask yourself. Now, they said those names. They keep saying Uncle Paulie, where's he at? They keep saying Roger Bonds, where he at? They keep saying Christina Coram, where's she at? They keep saying D-Rock, where he at? Peep game. All these witnesses, go back and look at their testimonies, have put all these people in this thing. Now you ask yourself, all those people they named, where are they? Where are they? They talked about another guy towards the beginning of this case. You haven't heard from him yet. The former president of Bad Boy Records, James Cruz. President of Bad Boy Records. Where he at? And you think the feds worry about them? They already know. Harv Pierre, where he at? These all the people they naming in open court that you haven't even seen or heard of, but they put these people into play. Multiple witnesses. And the way the feds did it, if any of those people was on the fence, they gonna make you pick a side, playboy. What side they gonna choose? Because remember, in a RICO, everybody underneath the RICO that does not, let me repeat myself again, everybody under the RICO that does not take a deal, they get charged too. They get charged too. And their time is going to be harsh under that RICO. Because that RICO, whew, that's like an automatic 15, right? Fed time. And think about this. Do any of those people that they're naming in this trial, as far as all these witnesses that have come up, do any of them have priors? Do any of them have a criminal history? I know Roger Bond said he went to prison for a long time. You think Roger Bond's trying to go back? Roger Bonds has been telling it on YouTube. You don't think he'll get up there on that stand? I'm just asking. So the feds have set this thing up, hook, line, sinker. And they force people to pick a side. And now that under oath, that they've gotten all these other people who work within the corporation and not in the company to say these people's names and to include these people's involvement in open court under the penalty of perjury. Now it gets wicked. Now it gets real diabolical. If you catch my drift, playboy. If I were you guys, I'd sit back and say, well, hold on, man. Let me wait and see how this thing plays out with the feds. because they still have 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. Outside of this week, 3 more weeks after this week to lay out their case. That's a long time. And we just on Monday, and this is week 3. Like, share, subscribe. These people running around here doing the victory dance. Laugh now, cry later. Good work. All right, you guys, so we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.